Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are San Diego.
The Padres have moved overnight from Miami to the Midwest and Milwaukee's Miller Park. It's game one of the series. The Padres and the Brewers. The Padres' Matt Kemp continues a productive second half of the season. He's always relished playing the Milwaukee Brewers. It is a beautiful night. Temperature will be in the high 60s at game time. Roof is open. The Padres meet the last place Milwaukee Brewers. And good afternoon, good evening, everyone, with Mark Grant, Dick Henberg here in Brewtown, the first of four, and the Padres have a nice little winning string going.
Yeah, everybody collectively is doing the right thing. When you look at the numbers over the last 9 games for San Diego, it really bodes well because this has been one heck of a long road trip. And when you look at players like Justin Upton, we know what Matt Kemp has done the second half. Then you boil it down to pitching as well. But the average for the Padres, 273. The runs per game, 4.3. And when you see the ERA, 2.99, you do the math. Who's on the better end of the ledger? And when pitchers are holding opponents to 188, they get the ball over to Craig Kimbrell to save it. Hey, things are looking pretty darn good, especially on a long road trip, Mr. Enberg, in this 9 games that we've seen the last for the Padres.
Well, they're 7-2 in those 9 games. They've won the first 2 series on this trip, taking 2 out of 3 against the Mets and 2 out of 3 in Miami. And this is a 4-game set against a team that has been stripped of many of its better hitters, at least 3 good ones in the middle of the lineup.
Milwaukee Brewers right now are very vulnerable, and you can see who they got rid of. Parra, Broxton, traded at the deadline. You see earlier Aramis Ramirez. Now what the Brewers are doing here is sure they're getting rid of some payroll and some pretty darn good players, but in return, hey, 6 good prospects, 3 of them really, really good. They got a center fielder that they're hoping maybe next year pays dividends, and also one of the 2 pitchers they got in return, an Astros pitcher who was pitcher of the year in the organization. So hey, you've given away some talent, but in return trying to restock and rebuild that minor league system.
But it is a 4-game series where the Padres should have some advantages. A great hitter's ballpark. The San Diego Padres eager to barrel up some long shots. Will it be Matt Kemp? Will Tyson Ross be able to come up with his 8th win of the year to match his record at 8-8? Well, we'll have all the keys to the game tonight when we return to Miller Park.
Do not let Ryan Braun beat you. Hitting .269, he's got 19 home runs, he's driven at 63, but runners in scoring position at .349. This guy's got 17 two-hit games, so, hey, the Brewers, last 12, 2-10. They've only scored 2.1 runs per those games, and I say if it comes down to Ryan Braun, the old pitch around. Don't give him anything good to hit. That's what I'm looking at this series. And also, one little point, Mark Sweeney, is to keep the ball out of K-Rod's hands. Francisco Rodriguez, keep the ball out of his hands, because that means it's a safe situation for the Brewers.
Kaiser Permanente. Thrive. By Petco. What we feed them matters. And by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by SeaWorld. Discover the wonder of the sea. Capital of Wisconsin, Madison. Long hour and a half away as we welcome you to Milwaukee. Time now for the Saquon Pick the Stick. As the weather currently 77, expected to fall into the high 60s before the end of the game tonight. And here's our Saquon Pick the Stick. Fans, you decide who you're with by tweeting out hashtag I'm with and the last name of the broadcaster you think has the best selection tonight. If you're right, you could win a free foursome of golf at the Saquon Golf Resort. And there are the selections. Our leader, Chris Button, goes with Austin Hedges tonight. And we're set to go. Pat Murphy's team looking to continue their winning ways on the road. Willie Peralta delivers, and the first pitch of the game is called a ball to Alexi Amarista. Amarista moved up into the first spot in the batting order. He's not been there very often. Off a double and a triple yesterday in Miami. A ball and a strike. Amarista, Solarte, and Kemp here in the Padre first inning.
Only the second time for Alexi leading off, so hopefully it continues from yesterday.
1-2.
When you hit a home run, you're in the lineup the next day, right, Professor?
Why not? Right, the two-run home run in the ninth inning. It tied it up yesterday. And he bounces this one off the glove of Peralta. It caroms to Jeanette, and it's a 1-4-3 putout. And the Padres lineup tonight is brought to you by Toyota. Amarista, followed by Solarte, Kemp, and Upton in the usual 3-4 slots. Yonder Alonso, then Jet Jerko. Austin Hedges gets a start, handling Tyson Ross this evening, and Melvin Upton also a start in center field.
And the scouting report for right-hander Willie Peralta, brought to you by Sleep Train. Hey, power sinker, power slider, and this is the guy they're hoping to be the ace next year for these Brewers.
Solarte, first ball swinging, hits it high in the air to right center field. It's still going, and it is gone. Solarte will touch them all. How about that? Dion continues his terrific inning and picks up the steam as he rounds third. And the Padres have a 1-0 lead on the 6th home run of the year for Solarte. Lots of daylight reflection off the window panes. I guess they're open here tonight. And a little tough to see the ball. It went long enough for Solarte.
Just on the back side of that yellow line in the wall. Home runs, everybody loves them. That's been a big key for the Padres the last 9 games. Now 5 of the 10 games they have homered. Cuidado, piso mojado, lavase sus manos. It's a great way to start.
Peralta's 9th home run, and it's the 9-game hitting streak now for Solarte with that base hit. And he's batting .333 in the last 14 games and comes out hot tonight. Slicing to right field. Over to make the play is Braun, and makes the basket catch on the run. 2 away. Brewers defense is brought to you by Renovation Realty, with Davis, Peterson, and Braun left to right in the outfield. Segura at short. Jeanette, the second baseman. The corners occupied by Perez and Lind, and Lucroy behind the plate for Peralta.
Dick, bad defensive team for the Brewers. 80 miscues, the worst in the National League. Last place in that category.
Justin Upton, off perhaps his worst ever day as a major league hitter. Up 4 times yesterday in Miami. He saw 12 pitches, all were strikes, struck out all 4 times, didn't foul a ball off. So he's ready to make amends tonight. 0-2 the count.
Well, first pitch swinging is Upton, and how about first pitch swinging for Solarte in the home run? If these Padre hitters going to get that straight fastball, they're going to be all over it.
Ball carries well. It's a convenient hitter's ballpark here in Milwaukee. And strike 3. That's 5 straight punch-outs for Justin Upton. But the Padres get a run and take the lead early, and they fare well whenever they do score first. It is 1-0 on Solarte's 6th home run of the year. Got him. Another slider. Quick and impressive. That slider just couldn't hold back. And that's what he does. And he's got another strikeout. Tyson Ross using that slider. 137 strikeouts, 8th most in the National League. Here's the Brewers lineup that he'll face tonight. Brought to you by Hyundai. Scooter Gennett, then the catcher Luke Roy. Ryan Braun, he's leading in home runs and RBIs. Adam Lind, a good pickup from Toronto. He's delivered a lot of big blows. Chris Davis takes over in left field. Then Shane Peterson, Gene Segura, Germán Perez, and the pitcher Peralta. Gennett to left field, and Upton playing toward the line makes the play.
And the scouting report for Tyson Ross brought to you by Montalvo. Hey, watch for the cutter and changeup. Talk to Darren Balls, he's the pitching coach for the Padres. He says, hey, last 4 or 5 starts, he's incorporating the cutter. It's going to be around 88 to 92. He might throw some more changeups. And the upbeat tempo has been a big key for Tyson Ross as well. With the leg kick and his delivery, trying to find that groove and maintain that groove.
Ground ball pitcher is Tyson Ross. In fact, he's the second best in the National League in ground ball outs. Lucroy takes ball 1. Led the National League in doubles last year. Off to a slow start this season. A .249 average. (2-0). Late umpire tonight is Brian Knight. The crew chief at first base, Larry Vanover. Vic Carapazza at second. Adam Murray at third. There's a strike.
How about Tyson Ross dropping in the 2-0 slider for a strike? That's a good sign.
Trying to even his record at 8-8 on the season. He's had a good run here of late. He's 4-1 in the last 8 starts. 94 on the fastball. It's his 23rd start of the season. He's tied James Shields for the National League lead. Line drive, left field, base hit. Upton plays it in. A 1-out single for Lucroy. The Padres defense brought to you by your San Diego County Ford dealers. The 2 Uptons in left and center with Kemp and right. Amarista and Jerko, the double play combo with Solarte and Alonso manning the corners. And Hedges behind the plate. Here's Ryan Braun. The 6-time All-Star is 1 home run away from 250 in his career. Leads the team with those 19 and 63 RBIs. Lights have not really taken full effect yet. Bright sunshine, and with the roof open, much more light filtering in from above. Line drive, slicing into the right field corner, fair ball. Kemp digs it out. Lucroy to third. Hold him there. He took a big turn, and Ed Cedar all the way to home plate to throw up the stop sign. So a single Lucroy and Ryan Braun with a double to right, and the Brewers threaten to come right back.
Well, we know that Ryan Braun can pull the baseball out of the ballpark and do some damage, but one thing that he possesses well is using the whole field. And when he gets on top of that one, 2 pitches now, Lucroy the hanging slider and a bad fastball. As Lucroy picks up Ed Cedar, the third base coach, turns it on. He's just too good of a hitter to leave a ball up in the zone like that and take it the other way. He does that so well.
So here's Adam Lind getting 281. 16 homers and 60 runs batted in. So he's been a good pickup. They got him from Toronto in a trade for Marco Estrada, the right-handed pitcher. And delivering with men in scoring position, and he's got 2 out there now. Infield back. They concede a run for an out. A looper to left. That's going to fall. Easily scoring Lucroy. It's tied at 1. Over to third goes Braun. A 1-1 game. 3 consecutive hits for the Brewers. 61st RBI for Adam Lind.
Like the Ryan Braun pitch that was up down the center of the plate, he took it the other way. This pitch is up, and Lind gets on top of it enough to where it just loops over the shortstop's head. It jammed him all right, but not hit hard enough for Upton, and the Brewers got something going here. It just goes to show you can have great stuff, but you need to locate those pitches. Brewers are taking advantage of it here early.
Chris Davis with a trade of Gerardo Parra to Baltimore. He now is the full-time left fielder. First and third, 1 out.
Good block by Austin there on the first pitch slider.
Chris Davis played his college ball at Cal State Fullerton. He's a native of Arizona, went to high school there at Deer Valley. Home run power. He went around 0-2.
Very susceptible to the slider down and away, and Tyson Ross is exposing that right out of the get-go. First 2 pitches, sliders.
Davis got his chance when Braun was suspended 2 years ago, and half a season hit 13 homers, 22 last year. One ball, 2 strikes. This is a spot for a strikeout for Ross with runners at first and third, 1 out.
Well, how do you like these apples? Most double play ground outs this season. The Brewers with 88. Be nice to make it 89 if Tyson Ross can make a good pitch here and have him hit it on the ground towards one of the middle infielders.
Now we mentioned he's thrown more ground balls than everyone but one pitcher, and yet the first 4 hitters tonight all have hit the ball in the air.
Yep, that's because the location, Dick. Good observation. The pitch has been up. Tyson needs to make an adjustment to get those grounders, and also the swings and misses.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Davis. Braun at third, Lind at first. Way outside, full count. Jeanette started the first with a slicing line drive to left, caught by Upton. Lucroy lined a single to left, Braun a double line to right, and then a bloop hit by Lind to shallow left field to score the run. And now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Chris Davis. Got him. Big strikeout. 2 away to Shane Peterson.
Well, it was at 88. Let's check it out of the hand. It's either a slider or a cutter from Tyson Ross, and the first 2 pitches he had no chance. He went back to it. Looked like a shorter break on that breaking ball. That's a big out for Tyson.
Shane Peterson, 27, played his college ball at Long Beach State. Strike 1. Peterson just a cup of coffee with the Oakland A's, 7 at bats a couple of years ago.
Cup of coffee with Dick Enberg?
No, he just didn't want to come down to San Diego. He hung around Sacramento, the AAA Farm Club.
Well, here's what he has to deal with Tyson Ross. The fastball, 51%. This is this season, the arsenal for the right-hander. Slider at 44, and then the cut fastball, as I mentioned, the last 4 or 5 games he's been incorporating the very few changeups from the Cal Bear.
0-2. The Brewers claimed Peterson on waivers from the Cubs in the offseason. First and third, 2 outs, a run in, tied at 1 here in the first.
You see the Fox tracks, everything's out of the zone. Tyson trying to work the corners to Peterson here and lead those 2 runners stranded. The pitch count up to 20 now for Tyson. Fox tracks brought to you by Honda.
Two and two. He worked the count full. Chris Davis and struck him out. Now from 0-2 to 2-2. Gene Segura would be next.
Oh, he's like to peek in and see what Austin Hedges is thinking along with Tyson Ross. Backdoor slider, maybe? Might be the cutter.
Another full count.
Yep. So 2 may be the cutter, 3 may be the slider for Tyson Ross.
Alonso looking into the dugout. Do you want me to play behind the runner? Apparently not. Lind off with the pitch. Oh, he throws it away. Throws a run. Well, a little too cute. And it's 2-1 Milwaukee as Braun scores on the throwing error by Tyson Ross. And moving into scoring position is Adam Lind.
Well, remember, you have to throw to third base, and that ball too much on the home plate side of third base, so Solarte has to reach across. The runner is going back to the bag. No longer can you fake. And Solarte just wasn't there in time, it looked like, from that angle. That's the play where as soon as he lifts that leg, he is off breaking to the bag.
And he walked him. So a tough inning for Tyson Ross. He's given up a couple of runs, a second on his throwing error, and he's not out of trouble yet. And Darren Bolsley's going to go out and try to settle him down as Gene Segura will be the hitter.
Well, the pitch count is getting up there at 23 now for Tyson. And sometimes some of the instruction for Darren when he goes out there is just, spin the ball, stay on the ball. That enables the pitcher to stay on the baseball a little better and then locate down in the zone. Just one of the things that Darren Balsley might be telling Tyson Ross. Plus to give him a little bit of blow also after 23 pitches.
Yes, a disappointing start for Ross, who in the last 8 outings has gone 4-1 with a 2.49 ERA and hitters batting only 194. Segura is 3 for 8 facing Ross in past games. 2 on, 2 out, and in the dirt again. Opponents have had trouble against Padre pitching since the All-Star break. Excellent 220 staff record.
They've been making some nasty pitches in pressure situations, putting the hitters on the defensive. As you say, take a look at the 88 games for Gene Segura. Laid on the heater at 94.
7th man to bat here in the first inning for the Brewers. They've taken a 2-1 lead. Solarte a solo home run top half of the first. Single LaCroix, Braun a double. Single Lynn to make it 1-1, and then a throwing error by Ross for the second run for Milwaukee. Not a bad pitch, just a little high.
Well, we know when Tyson is effective, he's down in the zone with the fastball and the breaking ball. That pitch up did not get the high strike. Early on this inning, he did hit his spots kind of down low, but just out of the zone a little bit. Didn't get the calls.
Goes to the slider for a strike. 2-2. Another full count.
You know, when I look at the slider this inning for Tyson Ross, the one thing that sticks out is that he's not really thrown that slider that's close enough to where it starts on the plate and then just ends up off the plate. It's too wild out of the hand. Therefore, the Brewer hitters really aren't offering at it. And Austin Hedges has done a nice job of blocking those balls in the dirt.
3 consecutive full counts, so the pitch count will be 29 with this one. Runners go.
See, that's the one he needs to throw. If taken a ball, but still out of the hand, and when it gets to the hitting area, it's close. So they have to offer at it.
The runners will be off again, 3-2. Right field, Kemp is there, and the inning comes to an end. A couple of runs, 1 unearned, and Milwaukee leads 2-1.
Decision on what to do with their pitchers, because Tim Fedorovich was at the end of his rehab assignment, and so they had to decide whether or not to bring him up. They ended up designating him for assignment and keeping Austin Hedges in the big leagues. I talked to Austin about that today. He said it wasn't a date that he was really thinking about. He said one of the reasons that the Padres pitching staff said that they wanted to keep Austin around because they like throwing to him, and for Austin, he said, that's the biggest compliment I could get as a catcher. He goes, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters to me is if my pitchers pitch well. So to have the support of his starting pitchers, he says, was the biggest compliment.
Yeah, that's the right attitude for a young catcher. The hitting will come along. You're running the show, and you want to make the right calls and help that pitcher to be the best that he can be. Alonso at 285 mark, the best for a Padre. A lot of walks for Alonso, so he has the best on base percentage of any Padre hitter. Left field, in comes Davis. 1 away.
You know, one thing also that Austin Hedges possesses on that report, Chris, thank you very much, is his confidence behind the plate. I mean, he's catching Dick like he's been there for 5-6 years. Very confident behind the plate, does a good job of blocking baseballs, calls a good game, does his homework, meets with the pitchers, and goes over a game plan and incorporates that game plan during the game.
Pitches. Follow Jerko. Hitting .230 with 5 home runs. Peralta was the ace for the Brewers last year, voted Milwaukee's most valuable pitcher. He was 17 and 11. But injury this year sidelined him for 2 months, a left oblique from May to July. So this is just his 11th start of the season. He's 2-5.
Stay tuned. Got a game break coming up. Twins, Jays.
Two balls and a strike to Jerko. Up the middle. Ranging is Segura. Good play. Shortstop covering a lot of ground to throw out Jerko.
Well, anything that Gene Segura can get to, his range at shortstop is pretty good, and he's got the arm to go along with it. So to his left, thought that ball had a chance to get up the middle. Big second out for Willie Peralta.
Hedges, 167 his average. He's had only 60 at bats, 10 hits, a couple of home runs. Peralta's only 26. Big guy, 6'1", 245 from the Dominican. Two and 0. And he starts tonight at 500. 32 wins, 32 major league losses. Good fastball, 5th highest velocity on average, behind Eovaldi, Harvey, Cole, and Richards. 95.2 miles an hour.
And he's got that high arm angle too, so it kind of gives the illusion like that downward plane we talk about. Gets on top of that baseball, trying to work down in the zone, work away to the righties. Right onto the back of that cap comes Peralta.
Melvin Upton Jr. next. As the count goes 3-1 to Hedges. High fly ball left field. Davis racing back into the corner, and that ball is just foul. Flirted with that yellow foul pole down there in the left field corner, 344 feet away. Jubilation.
Well, just out in front of it a little bit too much. Ah, that's a bummer.
Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases empty here in the second. And he walked him. 2-out walk to Hedges brings up Upton. First walk from Peralta.
Just seeing pitches, taking a walk can do wonders for a hitter. And you pass the baton on to the next guy. So Melvin Upton Jr. hopefully do some damage in number 8 spot tonight.
And plus you put another 6 pitches into Peralta's usage.
Exactly.
You help out there as well. Upton, a couple of home runs, just 84 at bats as a Padre. .94 on the first pitch. So far, Peralta's had trouble throwing the breaking ball for a strike.
That might be one of those pitches that, as this game goes on, that the Padre hitters eliminate. They recognize the spin, they recognize the breaking ball, spit on it, try to work a hitter's count.
Misses again. Top of the second. Padres trail 2-1. Hedges at first base with a 2-out walk. And popped up behind home plate. Lucroy comes back and watches it fall into the crowd. We have night games tomorrow night and again on Wednesday. Our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego at 5 o'clock. A day game to wrap up this long road trip, 10-game trip. On Thursday, our TV time 11 o'clock in the morning back home. That'll roll foul.
Well, this at bat from Melvin Upton Jr. Peralta starting him off with the high heat. He was late and trying to finish him off there with a breaking ball down to the zone. And if I'm the pitcher right here, I'm trying to go up the ladder, I think, in a situation like this. Looks like he shook off a fastball to go to another breaking ball.
Boy, 55-footer, and Hedges on his toes, advances to second base on the wild pitch.
Good secondary lead by Austin Hedges. Shuffle, shuffle as the pitcher goes. Ball's in the dirt. Daylight, gotta go. There's no way Lucroy's going to get to that ball and throw him out. He stands up easily to second base.
So tying run in scoring position for Upton, and the count is full. The pitcher's due next, and first base open now, so we'll see how Peralta works to Upton.
I'm throwing him another breaking ball here. And the reason why I say that, you just threw it there. Runner goes up. You got first base open. Then you got the pitcher up next. You got to force it any base. Although Tyson Ross is no slouch.
All four. So a couple of walks with 2 outs, and here's Ross.
Hey, Lucroy took that pitch away from Willie Peralta. A lot of movement trying to catch that breaking ball. On Fox Tracks, that was a strike. Watch the glove of Lucroy. Watch him take this ball and then take it out of the zone as he catches it. Brings it down out of the. He doesn't stick that ball. That was a strike. If he sticks that where it was pitched, he probably gets the call. And on Fox Tracks, there it is. Pitch number 7 right on the outside corner.
With the way he dropped the glove, and no reason for Knight to call that a strike. And a line drive right field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Tyson Ross delivers, and here comes Hedges to score, and it's a 2-2 tie. How about that, Tyson Ross? His third run batted in this year. Helping yourself. So a couple of walks, and Ross in that 9th spot drills a single to right field.
Do you know who you're dealing with when Tyson Ross is up there at the plate? How about getting on top of this high fastball? Oh, yeah, he's got opposite field power, and he can split the gap as well. That's his go-to. He doesn't try to pull the baseball. He hits it where it's pitched. And Tyson Ross picking up the Padres with a base hit to right center field and picking himself up to tie the score.
Upton raced around to third on the base hit. Hedges scores.
And, you know, go back to that wild pitch. Austin Hedges getting good recognition on that ball in the dirt to put him in scoring position.
Amarista out on a 1-4-3 put out first inning. And again, he can't throw the off-speed stuff for a strike. Big hole in right center for Alexi. Ball 2. Fastball. So the second inning, innocent enough for Peralta. Gets the first 2 men easily, but then walks Hedges, walks Upton, and pitcher Ross makes him pay. 2-1.
Well, so far I've seen pretty straight fastball from Peralta. Not really a lot of movement. He will try to sink that fastball. Average is about 94.
Line drive, base hit. That's going to go into the corner. Easily scoring is Upton. Ross on his horse. He might try to score. They're waving him home. Here comes the relay to the plate. He is in there. And the Padres get 2 more on a double by Amarista. It's 4-2. Amarista winds up at third on the throw to the plate.
It's another fastball, but down. He misses location. He wants it down and away. And with the way Alexi's swinging the baseball bat, hey, put him back in the lineup. Tyson Ross, he's off and running. He picks up Glenn Hoffman. He picks him up again. Get on your horse, big fella. Gotta go. Clippity-clop, clippity-clop. And he scores. Padres having some fun. But how about extending this inning to give Tyson Ross a little bit of a blow on that bench?
All of this happened with 2 outs and the bases empty. Solarte homered in the first inning, his 6th of the year, to give the Padres an early 1-0 lead, short-lived, as the Brewers came back with 2 in the bottom of the first. Amarista at third. And 2-0 the count. Just as Ross struggled through a 30-pitch first inning, Peralta a bit ragged here in the second, and the Padres taking advantage.
Boy, Jan Harris looks so comfortable at the plate these days. Laying off a good changeup there.
That's a strike at the knees. The official score is going to call that a triple for Amarista. National League leader Solarte since July 25th, in just a handful of games. Right there. Checks his swing. 3-1. Matt Kemp next. With no one aboard, 2 outs. Walks to Hedges and Upton. They both scored now. Ross an RBI single. Amarista 2-run triple. And another walk, the third of the inning. First and third for Matt Kemp.
There's so many things to look at in this inning. But as Matt Kemp comes up, Dick, he's been swinging the bat well the last 20 games.
Well, better than well. That's been outstanding. 347 and 5 home runs. Fly to right his first at bat tonight. 8th man to hit here in the second inning.
Well, what do you know? The way the Padres have been going up to the plate and being patient. 2 quick outs, Alonso and Zerko, and then a walk. There's so much to be said about Austin Hedges being patient, taking the walk. Melvin Upton Jr. laying off the breaking ball, and then Tyson Ross coming up with the big hit. "31 pitches this inning for Peralta." That's a workout, folks.
That's after he got 2 quick outs. High fly to right. Braun is there at the edge of the track, and the inning comes to an end. But the Padres get 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks. And Tyson Ross helping himself with an RBI single. Amarista knocks in 2 more with a triple. It's 4-2. All right, thank you, Michael. Leading off is Hernan Perez, third baseman. Last couple of years in Detroit, hit just 205. Ground set to short. Amarista, big hop for the first down. That'll bring up Willie Peralta.
Oh, tweet your strongest fan photo. Have some fun with this, folks, but you got to use the hashtag. Hashtag SDDataStrongFan. And you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Have some fun with it. Be original.
Willie Peralta on the season. 0 for 16. Takes a strike.
How about a 1-2-3 inning here for Tyson Ross?
Yeah, he needs that after a 30-pitch first inning.
How about a Fresca?
Both pitchers have had trouble with their breaking ball.
Yeah, with Tyson Ross have the 2-run lead here. Maybe it'll take one good slider to get that feel, and then it's like, oh, okay, it clicks.
The Mets, after sweeping Washington to move into a tie for first place in the National League East, are in Miami tonight, and they jumped out to a 7-0 lead. Craig Counsell taking over as the manager early in the season as a big hop. Solarte takes care of Peralta, 2 away.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I love Craig Counsell. Guy was a gamer during his career, had a great career. As you take a look at the arsenal for Tyson Ross tonight. Hey, the breaking ball, heavy on the breaking ball. A lot of movement on that breaking ball. But I look at Craig, really good career. He looks like a bat boy. He looks like he should be putting the donuts out on the on-deck circle. And, picking up the uniforms in the clubhouse. Good baseball guy, though. Great baseball guy. Big fan.
He was mentored as a collegian by the manager in the other dugout. Pat Murphy was his coach at Notre Dame. 3 years there with the Irish. Jeanette flied to left his first time. 2 strikes the count. Hit .306 with the Irish. He's a gamer. He found ways to win.
He did everything right, didn't he, Dick, on the field?
Late swing, watch out, off the screen in front of the third base dugout. Let's go back and check on the 2 principals here. Murphy at Notre Dame, 318 wins.
He turned that program around.
Ground ball. Amarista right there. Hustles the ball throw across, and there's the ground balls that we're talking about. 3 up, 3 down on 3 ground outs. Still 4-2. Trade focuses on the relationship between Pat Murphy And Craig Counsell there with the famed broadcaster Harry Carey in the ND uniform. Pat Murphy, a young looking head baseball coach with the Irish. And there's his pupil, Craig Counsell, now the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Well, he was young looking then, and he's still young looking.
Hasn't changed a bit.
Both men taking over as manager after the season began. Justin Upton struck out on 3 pitches his first time. So that's 5 straight times he has struck out on 3 pitches. 4 times yesterday. Most unusual downward swing for him. There's another strike. So that's 17 consecutive strikes without putting the ball in play. This time he does. Rips one to right field. That one's well back and off the base of the wall. Upton around first and into second base with a double. Solid poke to the opposite field for Justin Upton.
Well, good things come to those who wait. Yeah, it's been kind of a scuffle for Justin Upton the last 5 at-bats, but he's the type of hitter that can turn it around in a heartbeat. Peralta tries to throw the fastball. It's up, it's elevated, and stays on that ball well enough to drive it. And the guys in the Padres bullpen love it as well. Keep going, send him around, and that's a double for Justin Upton.
Padres and Potawatomi.
Nice
partnership out there, huh? A tribal casino here in Milwaukee. Good dig there by Lou Croy.
Maybe he was crossed up there, but he's having a chat with Peralta there with the runner on second base, or just some words of encouragement after falling behind 1-0.
Padres with a 4-2 lead and a chance to add on here with Upton leading off with that 2-base hit. Yonder Alonso fly to left his first time. And Tyson Ross hoping it's a nice long inning where he can rest after pitching a 1-2-3 last of the second. He needed only 11 tosses after a 30-pitch first inning.
Hey, and this could work for the Padres' advantage, Dick, because in that second inning, Peralta threw 32 pitches. You just mentioned Tyson Ross, a quick 1-2-3, and he is right back out there.
And buoyed by that RBI single, that feels as good as anything for those pitchers. So 2-0 now to Alonso. 3-0. Peralta walking 3 in the last inning, and 2 of the 3 came around to score. 4 runs, 4 hits for the Padres. 2 runs, 3 hits for Milwaukee. 1 of the runs unearned. Swinging 3-0 and a high fly ball to center. Tagging is Upton. And here he comes over to third in time. Boy, it looked like he got a big break off second base. I hope he didn't leave too soon. 1 away.
Well, that's part of knowing the arms of the outfielders and where they are positioned. Sure, that was on the shortstop side of second base, but Justin Upton feels he's got the speed, and Yonder getting a pitch to elevate to the outfield. Now a runner at third with 1 out that can score. And as they bring the infield in, cuts down the range.
Infield tied, hitter's delight for Jed Churko. Grounded to short his first time. Ball 1. Well, our experience here in Milwaukee through the years, it's not quite Colorado, but you need a lot of runs to win sometimes, so don't rain up. 2-0.
Well, with the way the Brewers have been going, we talked about it before the game. Last 12 games, 2-12. You want to give the impression or the feeling to the Brewers like, here we go again. And the Padres are on the verge of doing that right now. That's a huge run out there.
That's a strike. High strike. 2-1. The Brewers were just swept a 4-game series here at home. Those really hurt when you're swept at home. The Cubs got them all 4.
Just deflate the Brewers early on. Bury them early. They don't score a lot.
Line drive, base hit. That would have been a base hit with the infield back. Walking in is Upton. It's 5-2 San Diego. Jed Jerko delivers his 22nd RBI of the year.
Hey, you know what, folks? I've been there on benches where you're struggling and you hear somebody say or feel, oh, here we go again. And thanks to Jed Jerko, that feeling is hopefully in the Brewers dugout. Good swing. Look at the stiff front leg there on the front side, generating the power. And that barrel of the bat coming through nicely. That's a mistake, and he crushed that mistake for the base knock.
Double Upton, single Jerko, 5-2. Austin Hedges walked in the last inning and scored. Not getting many chances to swing the bat, but of late he's 5 for 15 as Blazek begins throwing in the bullpen.
Oh, that's a good sign for San Diego. Get that bullpen up early.
Michael Blazek, a ground ball up the middle. Oh, nice play, but a throw behind the back is errant, and everyone is safe. It was a do or die for Jeanette. Tried the blind behind the back throw over to Segura, the shortstop, but not even close. So that should be an infield hit for Hedges. It is.
Well, it would have been spectacular if you make that play, but not even close for Segura, and the Padres keep it going.
Jerko safe at second, Hedges at first. One out here in the third. And Melvin Upton, the batter, walked the first time. Way outside. Well, Peralta has not been sharp from the very get-go.
And that second inning really did him in, and the quick inning for Tyson Ross really did him in as well.
57 pitches to get 7 outs.
Not even close. Hey, if he's missing big time. And a lot of those pitches have been up in the zone too. You get one up about belt buckle high, watch out. You start forcing pitches, trying to make too good of a pitch. Next thing you know, it leaks over the heart of the plate.
Tyson Ross, the pitcher, on deck. Again, wide, 3-1. "60 pitches, 2 1/3 innings for Peralta."
Legs are getting heavy.
Jerko at second, and Hedges at first. Popped him up. Shallow and right. Braun coming in. No advance by the runners. 2 away. Ross lined an RBI single to right field. That's a big hit in this game. At the time, the Padres trailed 2-1. 2 outs. There were a couple of walks, and Ross delivered a sharp single to right to tie the game. And then the Padres went on to get 2 more on Amarista's triple, and they've added 1 here in the third.
But you know what? If I'm an outfielder for the Brewers in this situation, I'm getting the quads a little bit looser than usual. Tyson Ross, he split that right center field gap last time.
Starts him with a changeup. Two on, 2 out now in the third.
Look at him spin on that fastball. Peralta trying to throw a fastball inside and fouls it off. He knows that he's got opposite field power, so he's trying to pull that or put that 2-seamer in on him.
In the dirt. Yeah, this home run was hit to right field. 5 for 14 the last 10 games. That's some pretty good hacking.
Wow, you bet. I'm guessing first sign after 2, fastball away right here. And that was a breaking ball. Okay.
Well, our good friend Bob Uecker, he's got his 50 up there, 50 years of service here as the Brewers announcer and the Ford Frick Award winner a few years ago. He has reluctantly consented to do an interview with us tomorrow, so
nice.
I think that'll be enjoyable.
Very cool.
Yeah. We'll have that for the post-game show.
Nice.
I said, don't try to be funny. I'll do the jokes.
Oh, that'll be a good one.
1-2 now to Ross. He gets him with a breaking ball, but the Padres add on a run on 2-3 hits, and they leave 2. Middle of the third here at Miller Park in Milwaukee. The Padres lead it 5-2. Upton's double. Jerko's RBI single. And the Padres lead now 5-2.
You know, I think more than anything, I think he was. He's a person that makes you mentally tough. He made me mentally tough, I should say. I mean, and because he challenges you a lot.
Craig Counsell responding to what he learned from the iron-jawed Murphy at Notre Dame. As Counsell replaces Ron Renicky as the skipper of the Brewers. We advance to the bottom of the third. The Padres now with a 5-2 lead in support of Tyson Ross, who's helped himself. Lucroy, Braun, and Lynn, the tough end of the order for Milwaukee here in the third.
Yeah, it's kind of a unique story when you talk about Craig Counsell because he was born in South Bend, ended up going to Notre Dame. His dad worked for the Milwaukee Brewers. It's just a whole feel-good story. Director of the Speakers Bureau was Craig's dad, Mr. Counsell. So, you know, he grew up coming to the ballpark in the old days. And
should have been a lawyer, though.
Yeah.
Disappointed the family.
Yeah.
But he'll have some legal issues to work with as a manager as well. Counsell. Lucroy singled his first time and scored one of the 2 runs in the first inning off Ross.
Well, if you just put an ER on the end of his name, There's your lawyer.
You got it.
Oh, counselor.
Who knows? Notre Dame has an excellent school of law. Swing and a miss, and Lucroy is gone. He doesn't strike out very often. Chris Button down on the field level. What's up with you?
Had wonderful things to say today about Greg Counsell, and said, you know, when he was a player, I was probably almost too tough on him. He's like, I was a young coach. I didn't really know how tough I could be, and here's a great example of it. Craig was having problems catching ground balls at third, so one day they went out, and Pat said, I'm going to hit him to you, and I'm going to hit him to you hard. Hit him so hard, one popped up in the nose and broke his nose, bleeding all over practice. He goes in, gets the doctor to set his nose, goes back an hour later to finish the drills.
That's the kind of kid you want to play for you. Ryan Braun doubled into the right field corner the first time. 1-1 the count. Later scored himself on the throwing error by Ross, trying to pick him off third. Well, we hope the Padres can keep the home run bet quiet in the 4-game series. Ryan Braun, he needs 1 for 250. He needs 2 to tie Robin Yount for the all-time Brewer home run lead. 3-1. And he's always hit well against Padre pitching. 305, 47 games, 11 home runs. Flat out good hitter. A little below his average so far this year. High hopper, fair ball. Solarte across with a rope. 2 away. 6 straight now for Ross. Tyson has improved that ERA with each month. There's the evidence.
That's a great sign. You know, there are pitchers who start off hot. You know, you got an ERA in the 2s, and then all of a sudden the summer starts getting hotter, the ERA starts getting higher. Not the case for Tyson Ross. As the season goes on, he's getting better and better. Like a fine wine.
Last 8 starts, 4-1. And an ERA of 2.49, and opposing hitters batting only 194 in those 8 games. Lind looped a single, RBI single to left field his first time. 32 years of age. And against Ross, he's now 4 for 4 lifetime. Make that 5 for 5. So a 2-out single. Lind aboard for Chris Davis. Davis struck out swinging the first time.
Remember, first at bat, Dick, first couple pitches, sliders. A lot of trouble for Davis. And then he finished him off with either a cutter or a slider. Let's see if he starts him off here with a breaking ball as well.
Fastball strike, 93. Ross has pitched especially well away from Petco. ERA of 2.63 on the road this year. Pretty good pitch, 1-1. 2.63. That's the 9th best road ERA in the National League. In the dirt, good block by Hedges. There you have it. At home, he's 3-5, but an ERA almost 2 runs higher than his work on the road.
You know, that's one of those numbers that you just can't, I just can't figure out. I talk to pitching coaches, I talk to pitchers, I talk to hitters. It's one of those things that's really tough to figure out.
Usually it's the other way around. Yeah. You pitch better in your home park. He falls behind now, 3-1 to Davis. Padres with a 5-2 lead early in the ball game. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
That looked like a cutter there. Just a short little break on the outside part, and Davis tops it foul.
Full count. That'll send Lind off from first base. '60th pitch coming up from Tyson.
And that 60th pitch put down by Austin Hedges is going to be a slider.
Runner goes.
Yes, he did.
No, they say he held up. So that'll bring the tying run to the plate for Milwaukee here in the bottom of the 3rd. Then goes to second. Davis is the second walk from Tyson Ross, who leads the National League in walks.
Dick, Tyson Ross made an adjustment in the 2nd inning, but this is the 1st inning. Run up, take it the opposite way. Pitches were up, resulting in runs, and then the adjustment in the 2nd inning. Slider down. That pitch had some bite to it over the heart, but he got a ground ball. That's what Tyson Ross is known for. You talk about making an adjustment. You have to, at this level, you have to do it quickly, and Tyson has proven that. And he's staked to a 3-run lead here.
Shane Peterson walked the first time. And takes ball 1. You can see the blue marks on the barrel of the bat. That's the ink off the baseball.
Yeah.
Where the commissioner has signed his name. And the logo of the major leagues. 2-0.
Falling off to the side there in that last one, not staying on that pitch through the release point. Sometimes that'll happen.
He's now walked 2 tonight. 63 on the season. More than any National League pitcher.
Well, key for Tyson to work down in the zone is staying on line towards home plate. We've mentioned that before. And falling off the first base side. Try to eliminate that. Made a better adjustment on that one. And when you do that, you stay on the ball longer and you get better break, better location, more consistent release point.
2 on, 2 out. Padres with a 3-run lead here in the 3rd. Got a call there.
Well, when Tyson is on his game, he's got the quick tempo leg kick. He's staying back nicely. Now watch the front side. Does he clear the front side? Yeah, the elbow comes up on his left side. He really doesn't stride all that far, and he really doesn't follow through all that much, but still it's the release point out in front, not falling off too soon.
2-2.
Nice.
Inside.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get that pitch, but pretty good pitch at 94.
Another full count. That's 5 times. Ross has gone 3-2 tonight, and that'll give the runners a jump start. Man at first could score on a long single. Lynn from second, Davis from first. They're off. Strike 3 called. Peterson caught looking. 3rd strikeout for Tyson Ross. He leaves 2 stranded. And we move on to the 4th inning in Milwaukee. Padres 5, Brewers 2. Brought to you by Geico. Last August in the bottom of the 10th inning, Zach Duke on the mound for the Brewers. Rene Rivera hits a walk-off single. Yasmani Grandal scores, and the Padres beat the Brewers 4-3. That was August 27th a year ago. And incidentally, that's the last blown save by Frankie Rodriguez. Since then, he has gone 28 for 28 in save opportunities. Amarista with a 2-run triple the last time. A triple and a home run yesterday. After he'd gone 0 for 25, and he hits this ball deep to right center field. That's well out there, and it's up against the barrier. That'll be a ground rule double. Alexei going extra bases here. Triple home run, triple double.
Let's see what the pitch is out of the hand of Peralta. Looks like a straight fastball, a little bit of run to it. But Alexei, foot is down, get extended. Off the track, off the back of the wall. Ground rule double. 7th for Alexei.
Jan Solarte backs away, ball one. A little confusing here because there's a wall just behind the wall, and there are many balls that look as if now that hit off the wall and bounced back into play. That was the original distance, and then it was just too tough here, so they moved that temporary fence, 8-foot fence, in front of that permanent wall. And it's been a challenge for umpires, some of the calls. In fact, I think they had a review yesterday on a home run. 2-0 to Solarte, who homered with 1 out back in the first inning. He walked the last time. Try to move that runner to third. And he will. Chopper to second. Jeanette over to Lind. 1 away, and Amarista moves to third. So since that walk-off base hit by Rivera at Petco Park, the Brewers have had the worst record in baseball, 53 and 83. They've got Renicky fired. They really haven't done that much better under Craig Counsell. Michael Blazek back up again, throwing in the Milwaukee bullpen. A chance to pick up a run on an out as Kemp steps in and takes ball one. He's flied out twice to right. Five to 2, infield in.
Oh, look at those numbers. Third time around against Peralta, 323 clip.
Ball and a strike to Kemp. He and Upton tied for the club lead in RBIs with 57. High ball would play nicely here. Either one of the 2 outs he's made in the game to Braun and Wright would score a run. Smothered it off his foot at the batter's box. 1-2. Well, time now for our Arco top tier profile. Multi-hit games this year. Kemp with 33 games in which he's had 2 or more hits. Joey Votto leading the way. Goldschmidt, Pollock, and Rizzo. So some good names on that list.
Slider away.
Line drive, base hit. In comes Amarista, and the Padres build their lead to 6-2. Kemp delivers his 58th run batted in of the year.
How about the Padres scoring in each of the first 4 innings of this game tonight? Well, here's what happens. When the infield is in, you want to work down. Well, watch this pitch. Up on contact here. He gets on top of that baseball, driving at that. With the infield in, he elevates it. You know, Craig Counsell bringing the infield in. Hey, runs are hard to come by these days, so we're trying to cut those runs off, and that's going to be all for Peralta.
So Peralta managing only 3 1/3, so that'll tax the Milwaukee bullpen. He leaves. Michael Blazek comes in from the pen for Milwaukee. It's 6-2.
Padres wherever you are with MLB.com At Bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCasts, and much, much more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
Michael Blazek is the new pitcher, and our pitching change brought to you by El Cajon Ford. As Willie Peralta trying to assimilate a rough night at the ballpark. Leaves the game giving up 6 runs and 8 hits. Here's Blazek's card on the year, 43rd appearance.
Yeah, the Padres really taking advantage of some high pitches out of the hand of Peralta. That's the 6 runs so far. So Blazek comes into the game. He's got some work to do. Cut the bleeding.
So Peralta, that's his worst outing of the season tonight. He had gone only 4 innings against Atlanta, but just 3 1/3 tonight. Blazek inherits Kemp at first base. Only 1 out. And Justin Upton doubled his last time and scored.
Well, Blazek is a 4-pitch pitcher. Fastball, curveball. We just saw a curveball on the hand, a slider, and a changeup. He's about 92 on the radar gun on that fastball.
He's had a good season. Opposing hitters batting only .202. He's won 5, lost 2, and ERA down there 2.25. So he's been solid. Acquired from the Cardinals a couple of years ago in the trade for John Axford. So bullpen for bullpen. Breaking ball 0-2. Born and lives in Las Vegas, Blazek.
Three breaking balls away to Melvin Upton, or to Justin Upton. I stand corrected. Justin Upton, 3 breaking balls. Must have been a treat for this kid Blazek. First career opening day, making the roster for the Brewers. That's always a big check mark on your career.
Came up in September for St. Louis and Milwaukee in 2013. Then was in the minors all last year. Sails into the press box. Kemp at first base with an RBI single, 1 out. Padres with a 6-2 lead here in the 4th. In the dirt, good block by Lucroy. Well, the Brewers struggling. Mark Grant indicated they've won only 2 of their last 12. They lost their last 5. And what is disturbing to the locals is they are not winning at home. They're 20-33 in home games. Soft roller to short. They get 1 there. Back to first in time. A 6-4-3 double play. Well turned by Segura and Jeanette. The ball wasn't hit that hard. But the Padres get another and lead 6-2. Bottom of the fourth, it's Segura, then Perez, and the pitcher's spot. Tyson Ross has thrown a lot of pitches, 66 through 3 innings. Jumps in front of Segura, 2 strikes. Milwaukee shortstop fly to right his first time up. One and 2. Ross has struck out 3 and walked 2 tonight. 2 runs in the first inning. One of them scored on his throwing error, trying to pick off Lind at third base.
I think one of the things we can focus on, and they talked about it back in the studio for Tyson Ross, is just the word adjustment. He did just that after that first inning.
2 and 2 the count. Ground ball, Jerko, and an easy play for the first out. That'll bring up Hernan Perez. In between innings, our camera focused on the Padre dugout. Kemp comes in, and Solarte yesterday ripping his trousers, sliding a couple of different times. So it's a
Matt Kemp having some fun with him.
And James Shields. I mean, if you don't have a sense of humor in this game, you will go wacky.
Yeah, you will.
Amarista gets a convenient bounce, and there's 2 away. That's when Tyson Ross is in rhythm, when he's throwing ground ball outs.
Using the grass, letting the infielders get their work in. You bet.
Blasek will bat for himself. That's what we were talking about earlier. Anderson of the Dodgers, and then Ross, the top 2 in the National League in ground ball outs. Check on Blasek. I wonder if he's even had an at bat this year. Yes, he has. He's 1 for 3. And another ground ball. Amarista. 1, 2, 3, all on grounders. 4 in the books. Padres lead by 4.
Of being named to this prestigious award is truly overwhelming. When I received the call about 8:30 this morning, it took me to my knees. Other than the birth of my 6 children, this is one of the greatest days of my life.
Don't miss it tonight on Fox Sports San Diego. The moment of Dick Enberg's Hall of Fame weekend on Spotlight. Enberg in Cooperstown. That's tonight after Padres Live right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
Little red-eyed there, wasn't I? That was when I heard the good news.
And I remember that day.
I think you'll enjoy, fans, the journey to Cooperstown, because it was well documented by Tom Kaplan, a terrific videographer. And I mean, I had to run away from him. I couldn't get any any peace at Cooperstown. Tom was right there, but I hope you'll enjoy it. I think.
Oh, I'm sure it's put together quite well.
I know that's well produced. Yonder Alonso, then Jed Jerko and Austin Hedges in the 5th inning. Alonso has flied out twice. He and Upton, the only Padres without a hit. And Upton has a walk and a run. Melvin Upton. Michael Blasek into his 2nd inning, and another high fly ball to the outfield. Looking up is center fielder Peterson. 1 away. Chet Turco steps up. Now Solarte in Miami had both a double and a triple, and had to go into the laundry and get a new pair of trousers.
Yeah, that's where Matt Kemp was poking some fun at him, and that's he's doing the same thing tonight here in Milwaukee, getting on Jan a little bit. Well, you can't beat fun on the bench at the old ballpark, that's for sure.
Nothing like the rowdy humor of torn pants, huh? I mean, it's just the best.
And if you rip a pair, you've got a brand new pair waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's what's great about the big legs.
2-0 to Jerko. Lined a single, knocked in a run the last time. Padres have scored in every inning. 1 in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, and singletons in the 3rd and 4th. And they get one here in the 5th on a long home run. Jed Jerko, touch 'em all. A huge drive into the 2nd deck in left field. Number 6 for Jerko. Touch 'em all. West Virginia, 7-2 the score.
That one goes into the category of no doubter. 2-0 fastball. Jed had a good swing in the 3rd inning with an RBI single. He gets extended on this one. Even he. Watch after he hits it. Ooh. Yeah. That one's going all the way to Sheboygan.
Yeah, that's, as they say, out of every park except Yellowstone.
Very nice.
Austin Hedges has walked and scored, and safe on an infield hit. Yeah, plenty of speed at contact, over 101 miles an hour. Hedges, a key walk with the score 2-1 Milwaukee in the 2nd inning and 2 outs and no one on. Hedges worked starting pitcher Peralta for a walk, and then Melvin Upton did the same and walk. Tyson Ross singled to tie the game, and then Amarista gave the Padres their first lead. Sent Solarte's home run with a triple into the right field corner.
A couple of home run guys, 3 guys. Amarista yesterday, Jerko and Solarte tonight. And Jan's like, yeah, he's admiring that. That went a long way.
1-2 to Hedges. Fly ball shallow and right. Braun comes up for it. 2 away. And Melvin Upton, the hitter.
Well, prior to this game, Dick, when the Brewers have only scored 20 runs in 10 games, you look at the way the Padres are swinging the bat now, it's going to be tough. As I mentioned earlier, 2-10 the last 12 games. Only 2.1 runs per game in that span.
12 games, 25 runs. Well, they traded away a lot of offense.
And only one time during that scored 5 runs. And they been shut out 3 times in that span. Padres putting the hurting on the Brewers tonight.
A hitter's home run brings out the same kind of smile that a kid in the crowd offers when he gets a souvenir.
Absolutely.
It's the same,
yeah.
Same joy. And aren't we old kids in this game? 1-2. 94. Blasek gets it up there. Tyson Ross would be next. Full count. So the Padres, after being shut out the first game of the road trip in New York, take 2 out of 3 from the Mets, who in turn swept the Nationals. Take the first 2 in Miami, lose a tough one in the 9th inning yesterday. Another walk for Upton, the second time he's been given a free ticket tonight. In the first from Blasek, and that's a good walk because it gets Tyson Ross out of the mix and rolls that lineup. Ross an RBI single to tie the game back in the second, 2-2, and later scored himself on Amarista's triple. Breaking ball for a strike. So when you hear "I left my heart in San Francisco," what do you think of right away?
Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett, who made that song so very popular. How old do you think Tony Bennett is?
He's maybe late 70s.
Tony Bennett is celebrating his birthday today. He's 89.
Come on.
89 years young, and he can still
croon,
wax a lyric better than any singer out there. I mean, you hear the poetry of the lyrics when Tony Bennett sings them.
Wow.
Happy birthday, Tony Bennett, 89. In the dirt, 1-2 to Ross.
I was going to say 80 tops. Yeah, 70,
and he's still giving concerts all over the country. It's sold out. And a way bat and miss. The Padres gone in the 5th, but they add another on Jed Jerko's long home run deep to left. Number 6 for the Padres second baseman to give the Padres a 7-2 lead.
To most Major League Baseball teams, including the Padres, stay at the Pfister Hotel when we visit Milwaukee, and it's known around the league to be a rather, haunted haunted hotel. Baseball players have been quoted saying the shower turns on and then the radio turns on, the curtains move. It's all a little eerie. In fact, Justin Upton was joking me today. He said, I used to sleep with all the lights on and the curtains open because it freaked me out. They're now in the more renovated side of the hotel, which he says isn't as eerie. But I did a little searching around. I don't quite know if it's haunted or if it's players playing pranks on each other, because teams, couple on the Padres, couple when Matt Kemp was with the Dodgers. I don't know. It sounds more like, to me, these guys are more pulling pranks with the curtains and the showers and the radios turning on and off.
A little fishing line. And you get in the room when the mate's there and you put a piece of paper there, and then the guy comes in, closes the door, and all of a sudden the paper starts moving slowly. Yeah, little tricks. Turn the lights on, screw the bulb so it kind of flickers on you.
Yeah, I think that it's not only the Pfister Hotel, but rumor has it that possibly Miller Park is haunted as well. You want to stay tuned. An interview with Will Venable.
That's a ghost. G for ghost.
I think I see a ghost somewhere. So stay tuned for that one on the postgame show.
It's a line drive, backhanded by Alonso. The flip to Ross for the out, and Jeanette robbed of a hit by Yonder Alonso. There's the best defensive play tonight.
I think my room is haunted. I stay on the old side at the Pfister, and for some reason, right around midnight, room service shows up at my door with like 2 triple cheeseburgers and a chocolate shake. I don't know how it happens. It just does.
But they're good ghosts, right? Those are good ghosts. Now, before we give the wrong impression, the Pfister Hotel, if you've never stayed here, is one of the grand dames in America. It is a beautiful hotel. I feel like I've gone to Paris every time I check into the Pfister.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's just a wonderful old lady. That great art, ceiling art in the main foyer. It's of all the hotels on the road, it's my favorite. One out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lucroy, 1-1 the count. He singled and scored in the first when the Brewers got their 2 runs. Struck out swinging the last time. Four straight outs now thrown by Tyson Ross on the ground. And another broken bat. Oh, that spear goes over toward third, and Jerko throws out Lucroy. Well, time now for our Cholula flamethrower. What do you have for us?
Well, with the big right-hander, Dick, on the mound, Tyson Ross, 94, and that's Muy Picante with movement. Tyson Ross. Oh, yeah. Spicy.
Don't you think he's a better pitcher at 94 than when he threw 96, 97?
Yeah, because I think he creates a little bit more movement, has a little bit more control, and when you overthrow, he has the tendency to straighten out a little bit. You bet.
Ryan Braun doubled the other way. Part of the 2-run first inning for Milwaukee. Grounded out to third last time. So a string of groundouts, 5 in a row.
Got a game break coming up. Braves, Giants from the city by the bay. Mike Pomeranz, Mark Sweeney will break it down for you. Tell you what's going on there.
Did you see who won the game for the Cubs here against Milwaukee yesterday?
I did. It's a good story. Big fan of his.
Clayton Richards, the former Padre left-hander. He's now 2-0.
Good to see him back.
Minor league free agent in the spring training. 3-0 now to Ryan Braun. Well, normally you don't want to pitch to Braun. He's the one guy that can hurt you, but with a 5-run lead, you want to give him a chance to make an out. That's in there. Adam Lind, cleanup hitter next. Well placed.
Yeah, good two-seam fastball in 91.
Try to get out of this inning with just 90 pitches. Foul territory. Camp won't have a play.
If this copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres, it may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
So we just got word that Clayton Richard, designated for assignment after winning yesterday, well, he was called up, got a chance to play. He'll go back to the minor leagues and either stay within the Cubs organization, or some will say, hey, he's a big left-hander, can still throw. Why don't we pick him up?
We wish him luck, of course.
3-2. .90 throws for Tyson Ross. He was able to go only 5 innings the last time against the Mets in a 7-3 win. He went around, strike 3, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for the former Cal Berkeley star. We've completed 5 at Miller Park in Milwaukee with the Padres in front, 7-2. He's giving the Braves an excellent season, and when we were there, remember, he was the leadoff man, and Cameron Maben was second in the batting order, and a pretty good 1-2 punch at the top of the order. This is Corey Knebel making his 26th appearance. He came over from Texas in the offseason in the trade for Giovanni Gallardo, the right-hander going to the Rangers.
You got a pretty good arm. The strikeouts are up. Fastball, a four-seamer at about 95. Throws a fastball, mostly fastball, curveball, occasionally changeup.
And Marista with a double and a triple has knocked in 2 and scored 1. Hitting leadoff just a handful of times this year and productive tonight. This is the 7th game of the road trip. Scoring over 5 runs a game and batting over 300.
Wow, that's great, especially on the road. Giving some wiggle room for the pitching staff. Busy on the base paths. It's all good.
Yeah, as you pointed out at the very start of the telecast tonight, it's been the combination The pitching has been the best of the season, and the hitting has joined in. So now the combination, the pieces all fitting. That's how you win. Put together some wins. And Amarista chases the ball in the dirt. Knebel with a strikeout. One away here in the 6th. Brings up Solarte. He got the Padres in front in the first inning with a home run to right. Since July 11th, the Padres losing only 5 times in 17 games. Only the Giants have a better record. How about the Phils? They have the worst record in baseball yet. In July, one of the best at 12-5. We're going to see them Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. Hope you're making your plans, especially Saturday night, folks. There's Solarte. That's his home run in the first inning, his 6th, and gave the Padres the early jump, 1-0. So Saturday night will be the induction into the San Diego Padres Hall of Fame. Benito Santiago and Gary Templeton. You'll want to be there to cheer 2 of the great Padres of yesteryear. And Knebel getting the Padres, Amarista and Solarte, to chase balls down in the dirt. 2 strikeouts.
Oh, the fastball at 96, and then the breaking ball down in the dirt to put Solarte away.
Matt Kemp flying twice to right and singled in a run. Last 31 games, Matt hitting at a .306 pace with 7 home runs. That caught the mask of catcher Lucroy. That was flush.
And the umpire, veteran move, Brian Knight, taking a little time, dusting off home plate, asking Lucroy if he's okay. Yeah, that'll rattle your cage.
Off speed, 1-2. Knebel, college ball at the University of Texas. Big 6'4" right-hander. Strikes out. Wow, Kemp. 97 on that fastball. Knebel comes in and strikes out the side. Amarista, Solarte, and Kemp.
taken me to a great place, the Ford Frick Award in baseball's Hall of Fame.
All right, here we go. Bottom of the 6th inning. Adam Lind, Chris Davis, and Shane Peterson for the Brewers. Probably Ross's last inning. He's thrown 91 pitches. That first inning, his undoing when he needed 30 pitches and allowed 2 runs, 1 unearned. Lind, 2 for 2 tonight and 5 for 5 lifetime, and he drills that one deep but foul against Ross. Tyson hasn't figured a way to get him out.
Yeah, holding him to singles. That's a long strike 2 there. And one thing that sticks out for me tonight is Tyson making that adjustment after that first inning. Darren Balsley, the pitching coach for the Padres, tells me that Tyson Ross is one of the most coachable guys out there. He'll do anything he suggests to try to work it out. Interesting to find out what he told him when he went out there in that first inning, Dick. Remember, he had that little visit with him? Now you see the outs. And he made that adjustment, Dick, after that first inning. The 9 ground outs, 2 fly outs.
Yeah, that first inning, everything was in the air, including a single, double single that set up the Brewers with 1 run and runners at first and third. And then Ross, ill-advised, tried to pick off Lind at third base. And he and Solarte were not on the same page. Solarte wasn't to the bag, and Tyson's errant throw scored the 2nd run, but nothing since. In fact, only 1 hit since. 1-2 to Lind, and another foul at the plate. Lind, a product of the University of South Alabama, he's now 32. Strikes him out. Foul tip, and Hedges clutches it for the 5th. Tyson Ross strikeout. And a reminder, closed captioning tonight, as always, brought to you by Wiener Schnitzel. Well, that's a good product for here in Milwaukee.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you get your bratwurst yet?
I haven't. I'm gonna hold off, I think.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Till when?
Probably the last day.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be a day game. So you're
trying to watch my baseline.
You're allowed more than one for day games.
Sure.
Well, I plead guilty tonight.
How many?
Just 1, but boy, was it good.
Yeah. So good.
Lathered that mustard on there and some chopped onions. Chris Davis struck out and walked. Preston Gilmet is throwing now in the bullpen for Milwaukee. Two and 1. Two walks, 5 strikeouts for Ross. Fly ball to center. Melvin Upton eases his way left center field for the 2nd out. And it's time now for our Fan Diego fans of the game.
Oh, you gotta love it. Wearing the jerseys, wearing the hats, bringing the glove to the ballpark.
Some are comfortable, huh?
Yeah.
Shane Peterson walked and struck out.
Whoa. Hey.
Watch out. Shot that through the middle for a base hit.
Hockey suit.
Only the 2nd hit since the 1st inning for the Brewers.
Coming right back at you, Tyson, and nearly gets him right on the backside.
Ooh. Remember, he was hit in the back of the leg in New York his last outing. And was very sore and came out after 5 innings. Here's Gene Segura. He's flied out and grounded out. Again up the middle, and another base hit. Melvin Upton plays it in. Holding at second is Peterson. So back-to-back singles here for the Brewers with 2 outs in the 6th inning, and that'll bring up Hernan Perez, or a pinch hitter.
Peterson swinging at the first pitch. Segura swinging at the first pitch. And what is it? It looks like a little cutter or slider. This one's on the ground, and that's the intention of Tyson Ross. It just happens to find a hole.
Perez will bat for himself. Number 8 hitter. He's grounded out twice to Amarista at shortstop. So 104 pitches for Ross. Bullpen busy behind him. That ball gets away, and moving to third is Peterson on the wild pitch. Holding at first, Segura.
Well, with 2 outs, a nice job by Austin Hedges. First of all, keeping the ball relatively close to him as first and second, secondary lead. Peterson takes off, but there was a thought maybe going to first, but you know what though? 2 outs. Tyson Ross is throwing the ball extremely well. You want to make them try to get a 2-out hit. No reason to try to throw that ball at first, throw it away.
Pitcher's spot due next, and Ilian Herrera has a bat for the Brewers. First and third, 2 outs. Foul tip into Hedges' glove, 1-1. Marcus Mateo with the Padres getting loose. 7-2. Ross allowing only the 1 earned run. First trouble since the first inning. And another base hit. In comes Peterson at 7-2. Now 7-3. 3 straight base hits up the middle. Perez 7th RBI. And that'll bring Bowlesley to the mound. And the pinch hitter Ilian Herrera to the plate.
If you're going to give up 3 hits in a row, you want them to be singles. The Brewers using the center of the diamond. And with the pinch hitter coming up, as you mentioned, Dick, going over a little scouting report here. Still a lot of breathing room.
And get this, Mark Grant. Tyson Ross on the road. We've already documented that he's pitched much better on the road than at home. In 13 road starts, he's never given up more than 3 earned runs.
Right.
And he still has that intact. 3 runs tonight, but only 2 earned. And he may be tiring. 107 pitches. And here's Herrera, the pinch hitter. So the Brewers now back in Grand Slam range. In the dirt. Switch hitting Herrera, batting .208 from the left side. 1 home run. .215 overall and 4 homers. Rolled to Jerko, and the out at first. The inning comes to an end. Another fine out effort, a quality start for Tyson Ross. It's 7-3. Brought to you by Zaquan Casino, only 25 miles from Petco Park. By Sony's Action Cam, prove yourself. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. Six innings in the book. Tyson Ross, 109 pitch effort, allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, 7 hits, walked 2 and struck out 5. Preston Guillemette, acquired from Baltimore in the trade that sent Gerardo Parra to the Orioles. This is Guillemette's second appearance as a Brewer.
Fastball split slider combo for this right-hander. Usually you see a fastball slider, maybe even a breaking ball, but this kid likes the splitter. He's not a hard thrower. He throws a four-seamer. He's 86 to 89.
Baltimore claimed him off waivers in the offseason and then arrived here in Milwaukee via the trade. Justin Upton, a double in 3 trips tonight. Then Alonso and Jerko. High fly ball. He just missed that one. Braun almost in position, back 3 and up 2. 1 pitch, 1 out. Well, we hope you'll be with us tomorrow night, 5 o'clock, here on Fox Sports San Diego. Andrew Kashner will be on the mound for the Padres. Jimmy Nelson having a good year for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's won 8 games. It'll be game 2 of this 4-game series. Kashner against Nelson. We hope you'll be with us at 5 Pacific time. Alonso, the only Padre not to reach base safely tonight. He's flied out all 3 times, once to left, twice to center.
They got a game break coming deep from the heart of Texas. Astros, Rangers from Arlington.
Slice to left, foul ball.
Kevin Quackenbush heating up for the Padres.
And the attendance announced on this Monday night, 20,988. 2988. Brewers are averaging 32,566 on the season. They had big crowds over that 4-game series with the Cubs, but they called it Miller Park or Wrigley Field North. A lot of Cubs fans came up here to cheer the Cubbies and rooted them on to 4 straight wins. 2-2 to Alonso. Guillemette, the 4th Brewer pitcher tonight, is starter Peralta able to go only 3 1/3. Full count. Well, be careful now. They can get away on you. And a walk to Alonso. He gets a free ticket for the 36th time this year. Our game presented in brilliant HD by Sony 4K. You could follow the flight of that ball all the way into the upper tier in left field. Last time Jerko was up. Big time home run. He has hit his 6th of the season as Solarte has hit his 6th tonight. Also an RBI single for Jed. And he lines this one into the right field corner. Foul ball. Just foul. He flirts with a double. That would have probably scored Alonso. Guillemette is a product of Oakmont High School up in Roseville, California, near Davis. He was picked in the 9th round 6 years ago by Cleveland.
We talk about Jed Jerko's third at bat, the home run. Look at that, middle in and elevated. That's the mistake, and you've got to crush those.
1-2.
Put a good swing on it and sent it a long way up near Bernie Brewer's roost up there. Almost the landing area where Bernie slides down. That's another big key in this series against the Brewers. Keep Bernie up in that chalet right there. Keep him up there watching.
Let him go to sleep.
Yeah,
huh?
cable TV and eating Funyuns and chocolate shakes.
That ball ripped to left field. Another hit for Jerko. Alonso turns and holds as Davis hustles it in. 3 for 4 for Jed tonight. Since he came back from El Paso, he's been a different hitter.
Yeah, laying off the bad pitches, swinging at strikes. I know it sounds simple, but it takes one certain at bat to make it click. He stays back long enough on that one. Sure, it's a breaking ball, but he goes down and gets it, puts a good swing on it, and pulls it. Hey, the breaking ball, yeah, you can pull that ball.
Padres in double figures again in that hit column.
Hey, we're going back in time. That's Barrel Man, the old mascot for the Milwaukee Brewers back in the day.
Line drive, base hit. Austin Hedges comes through. Here's Alonso around third. The throw goes into third, and the Padres have another. It is 8-3. They get that run right back as Hedges is 2 for 3 with a walk. Knocks in his 7th run. Kid building in confidence.
Yep, really happy to see Austin Hedges get into the act again. The walk was big in that second inning. The ground ball up the middle for the infield single, and then driving in a run to add on to the lead. Let's watch him stay on it here. Good extension, using the big part of the field.
Jerko holds at second, Hedges at first, one out to Melvin Upton, takes strike one. Upton has walked twice and fly to right.
Padres have scored in 6 of the 7 innings tonight. You gotta love it.
After they were shut out through 8 yesterday, Jose Fernandez, until Amarista hit the 2-run homer to tie it in the 9th. Well, you'll go back to the game, and you can drive yourself nuts to trying to replay games. So you go back to the very first inning of that game yesterday. If Venable catches the ball, they don't score any runs in the first inning. The Padres might have come away with a sweep in Miami. Brett Wallace is on deck. The pitcher's spot due next. After Justin Upton flied out, Alonso with a walk, singles Jerko and Hedges to add on. 8-3. Two and 2 to Melvin Upton. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. A late start, but Hedges going to try to score. Here comes the throw in, cut off, and the Jerko rather comes in, and it's a 9-3 lead. Hedges moves to second. Melvin Upton with an RBI.
Hey, if you're writing scouting reports at home about the opposition, and once again, fat pitch, Padres putting a good swing on those fat pitches. Chris Davis in left field, not a good arm at all. Part of the duty of Glenn Hoffman, the third base coach, is to go over the strength of the arms and the scouting reports of the outfielders. Here's Glenn. He waves him home because Chris Davis, even charging that ball, that was a very weak throw from left field, enabling Jed Jerko to score.
So here in the 7th inning, the Padres adding on to their 7-3 lead after Justin Upton flied out, a walk to Alonso. And consecutive singles by Jerko, Hedges an RBI single, and now Melvin Upton an RBI base hit. Brett Wallace steps up.
Look at those numbers for tonight. Runners in scoring position, 6 for 11 for the Friar 9.
Very good numbers. When you're winning, you're coming up with the big hits, money hits. 9 runs, a dozen base knocks for the Padres. 3 runs, 7 hits for the home side. (2-0) to Wallace as the pinch hitter. Brett is 5 for 19. A couple of RBIs.
overall, a .323 average, 10 for 31 and a home run. Three and 0. Well, look at that, building a nice wall of runs through 5, shut out in the 6th, but 2 more back here in the 7th. 9-3. Save some of those for Andrew Kastner tomorrow night. And a 4-pitch walk to Wallace. Bases are loaded. That pushes Hedges to third. Melvin Upton to second. Wallace joins him at first. Second walk from Gilmet here in the 7th. And to the leadoff man, Alexi Amarista, already with a good night. 2 for 4, a double and a triple. Scored 1 and knocked in 2. Jerko leading the way with a 3 for 4 night. Jerko with 2 runs driven in, a home run, and he scored 2. Amarista, center field. Peterson tagging and heading for home is Hedges, and he's in there. And the Padres have hit double figures. It's 10-3. Amarista with his 3rd RBI tonight. A 3-run 7th off Gilmet. 2 away to Jan Solarte.
Yeah, I like about that swing from Alexi. He didn't try to do too much. Got a pitch up and just put a nice easy swing on it. Sent it to deep center field for the sac fly.
Solarte gave the Padres a 1-0 lead in the 1st with a home run. He's 1 for 3 with a walk. So the Padres scored first, and that's been the magic formula. 34-16 when they're on the board before the opposition. Ball 1. 8th man to hit here in the 7th inning. Upton at second, Wallace at first. Two and 0. Mark Kotsay, a very pleasing night for the hitting coach of the Padres, along with Alonzo Powell. He's really loving the coaching part of his life, huh?
I'll tell you what, those guys work their tails off.
Watch out, that one skipping off the roof of the Padre dugout.
So much information, so much time spent at the ballpark. First one's here, last one's the leave. So everybody's on the same page.
That ball drilled to deep right field, and Solarte has done it again. The 3-run home run. Touch 'em all. The 2nd home run tonight for Jan Solarte, and the Padres, when Solarte hits the home dish, will have a 13-3 lead. The 3rd homer by San Diego tonight.
Oh, you talk about muy gordo pitch. Very fat, right down the middle. Solarte lifts and separate. Cuidado. 300 entradas.
Ground ball by Kemp to third, and the inning comes to an end, but the Padres hit around. They score 5 times and have now boosted their lead to 10. Jan Solarte with a pair of home runs. As we go to the stretch half of the 7th, San Diego 13. Who says that's unlucky? The Brewers 3. operation. That'll get you a big time job. You
Oh,
know, a
yeah.
CEO of that group up there, he's making some pretty good bucks up there, you know.
Oh, don't you know it, Dad?
Leonel Campos just called up from El Paso.
Hey, 10 runs to work with. 13 entradas this evening for the Padres. And there you see the numbers for Leonel. Nice ERA at 2.92. And Brett Wallace will go into play third base.
Yes, Solarte worn out running the bases on those 2 home runs. Leadoff hitter Scooter Gennett with Lucroy and Braun to follow. Drew Kastner says, come on now, you got to say some of that love for me tomorrow.
Yeah, hug a teammate. I said it.
That's great. Will Venable goes into the game in right field for Kemp. So it's Melvin Upton in center, Justin Upton in left, Venable in right. The infield, Wallace at third with Amarista Turco and Alonso around the horn. Jeanette is 0 for 3. 1-2 the count. So if this stands, and certainly with a 10-run lead, it would figure the Padres will have a win tonight. Tyson Ross will tie James Shields for the club lead in wins, 8-8. In the dirt, 2-2. Campos came up last year in September, 6 games, pitched 7 innings, 5 runs and 9 hits, struck out 9 in 7 innings. So it gives Campos a chance to impress the Padre brass, see what his future might be with the club. It's a big guy. 6'4".
Perfect opportunity for Campos to come in and get a couple innings. Hey, you know what? Even Dick finish this one out, maybe.
Line to left, slicing into the corner, and good. Oh, no! Upton crashes into that wall. Wow, and that's metal up above the padding down below, and he took it on. Oh, man. And luckily back on his feet. And okay, look at the force that he hits this wall. No, he luckily got his glove up to protect his face from going into that.
That's his left wrist. His left wrist kind of gets pinned in between his body and the bars. That's great concentration. That's a nice out. Nice catch by Justin Upton.
That's a tough man. In a 10-run lead, he didn't back off at all. Wow.
That's another good point. You know, Dick, you make a very good point. 13-3, 7th inning. And Justin Upton is going out to try to take the bat out of any Milwaukee Brewer hand by eating a little fence on the way. He'll just chew up that fence and spit it out.
Lucroy singled his first time, has struck out and grounded out. Justin continues to shake his right hand out there in left field. Let's hope that nothing seriously wrong. It's the old baseball image. You don't rub it. You want to let them know that you're hurt. One and one. Pat Murphy with the luxury of using his bench now with the big lead, and he has sent Venable in right. Justin Upton looking over there as if to say, why didn't you substitute for me? That's a strike. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Gamer. 2-2. Lionel, not a youngster. He's now 28 years of age. But baseball wasn't his sport in Venezuela. He was a professional soccer player. Outstanding talent in another sport. Stays at 2-2. Logan Schaefer's on deck. Ryan Braun due to hit next. There's no quit in Oregon players.
They've got a good one here up in Milwaukee.
They really do. 3-2 now.
No Lady of Spain, though. No playing of Lady in Spain.
It's like no crying in baseball.
That's right, yeah.
They did play my favorite, though, in pregame, getting ready for it. Roll out the barrel. Now.
Oh, that's a great one up here.
You got to play that polka.
Yeah, I love the beer barrel polka. Because the gang's all here, right?
Exactly right. It's a little disappointing, though, that the schottish has gone the way of the dinosaur. You know, I just miss the schottish. Oh, that is some kind of music now.
Oh, yeah. Lawrence Welk.
Probably.
There's Bernie.
The Mariners. And the Rockies 7-4 Mariners. Ooh, up and in. And that'll put LaCroix on.
Actually, that's not Bernie Brewer. That's Landy McDonald, who used to play for the Calgary Flames. Ever since his retirement of the NHL, he's come here to Milwaukee and tried to root on the Brewers.
That isn't even makeup. That's his natural hair. So a one-out walk from Campos brings up Logan Schaefer. Ryan Braun, 3 at-bats, had a double and scored.
That's awesome.
First inning, Brewers got 2 when Lucroy singled. Braun doubled into the right field corner. Lynn dropped a single into left field, 1-0, and then with runners at first and third, Ross tried to tried to pick Lynn off third and threw it away for an unearned run. And then they didn't get any action again going until 2 outs in the 6th inning when Peterson, Segura, and Perez had back-to-back singles. But the Padres scoring in 6 of the 7 innings tonight have built up a 13-3 lead on 13 hits. 96.
That's a nice firm fastball from Campos. If you can locate that consistently, watch out.
Those scouts look for that big arm.
Yep.
And obviously a good athlete if he was a professional soccer player. Right down there. Line to right center field, and there's no one there. All the way to the wall. Lucroy, he's going to try to score. Throw to the plate will be offline, and it's 13-4. Well, that gives the 20,988, the faithful who are still here at Miller Park, something to cheer about. Schaefer off the bench with an RBI double.
Well, let's see this pitcher. Watch the glove of Austin Hedges. Does he hit a spot? It's down. Hey, it's not a bad pitch. Let's watch overhead and give you an indication of how far out that ball is. It's on the outside corner, maybe just up a bit, but credit Schaefer for going out and getting that ball and pulling it to the right center field gap for his 4th double of the season.
Only his 2nd RBI. Just had 35 at bats. So here's the cleanup man, Adam Lind, 2 for 3. Just one out here in the 7th. got plenty of velocity, but they're reading that fastball.
This kid doesn't care what the score is. He's having a good time at the ball yard. Wanting to learn the game. Got a big smile on his face. He brought his guante.
The Angels, after being swept in Houston, then swept by the Dodgers, and they're losing again tonight to the Indians 3-0 up at Angel Stadium. They've fallen on hard times. One and two. Schaefer out at second base. Run driven in. 13-4 Padres. Hey, it's still fun at the yard as long as you can eat.
Summertime at Miller Park.
Got him. For a strikeout for Campos. 2 away. And here is our Bill Howe plays of the game. Guess who? Yan Solarte, first inning off starter Willie Peralta, just over the right field wall. But in the 7th inning, with 2 men on, a different story. A no-doubter to deep right field. Almost to the top of the second tier.
Wow.
A couple of dingers and 4 runs batted in for Solarte, his 6th and 7th home runs. Ground ball to short, ranging to his left, Amarista, and he throws out Davis. A run for the home team. It's 13-4 visitors. Making it very pleasant for San Diego fans with a big 13-4 lead, out hitting the Brewers 13-8, and this is their 5th pitcher, Neil Kotz, 44th appearance for Milwaukee.
Well, he's been around a long time, Neil Kotz, just left-hander, a fastball, cutter, and a slider. Not a hard thrower. He relies on location.
And Justin Upton, we were suspecting he would not hit. Let's hope he didn't injure that right hand. Clint Barmes is going to bat for him. And here are the changes for the Brewers. Schaefer stays in the game in right field. Gomez comes in to play third, and Kotz the pitcher. And here's Clint Barmas pitch hitting for Justin Upton. Chris Button is on the case, checking on Upton to make sure he's okay. Barmas, then Alonso and Jerko scheduled here in the 8th. Back up the middle. Uh-oh. Can't make the play. Scooter Gennett. An awkward hot. That had a lot of English on it. That was spinning like a top.
Yes, it was.
And Gennett couldn't come up with it cleanly.
And glad to see that. Should be credited with an infield single.
See how they scored.
Let's check it out. He had to go to his right. He tried to circle there. Oh, he couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I think that should be an error. Rooting for Barmas to get a base hit.
I still think if that ball was on line to first base, I still think Clint Barnes had a chance of beating that one out. E4. Wow. Okay.
As you pointed out, the Brewers have the worst fielding percentage in the National League. First error tonight. Well, it's Alonso's turn. Everyone in the lineup with a base hit. He has a walk and scored. 0 for 3. Padres 1 run shy of equaling their top scoring game of the season as another fly ball off the bat of Alonso. For the 4th time tonight, he's flied out. Barmas back to first. Jed Jerko 3 for 4. A couple of singles and his 6th home run of the year. And he, like Solarte's last home run, hit one a mile. I mean, that's up to a Kanama walk. This is the kind of production out of the second baseman, power, which you don't find in many lineups in Major League Baseball. And it's the kind of power that he showed a couple of years ago when he signed that big extension. And he hits that high in the air to left. Just missed it. Davis is going back. And that's how close he came to taking another one out. 2 away. Austin Hedges has chipped in with a couple of hits and a walk and scored 2, knocked in 1.
I love a messy scorecard on the Padres side, Professor. How about you?
Oh, yes. Nothing like I don't know how you score your runs. I think we do it the same way.
Right.
You put a nice circle and fill it in.
I do.
I'd like to look down there and see all those nice little round blotches.
Yeah, it looks like buckshot.
Yeah, 13 of them. 2 outs here in the 8th. This is just the first of 4 with the Brewers to wrap up the 10-game road trip. Padres started tonight 3 games under 500. Their immediate goal, as Hedges grounds that to the left side and they get the force at second. Their immediate goal, trying to get home with a record of 500 or better. Let's see.
Brought to you by Mercury Insurance. Log on to mercuryinsurance.com today and see how much you could save. By Petco, what we feed them matters. And by Jerome's Furniture, where Jerry's price is the lowest price every day. No phony sales, just pure value. Milwaukee River through downtown here along the banks of Lake Michigan. As Dale Thayer comes in to work the bottom of the 8th inning. He'll face Peterson, Segura, and Perez's spot. Gomez now playing third base. Hector Gomez. Peterson, a single his last time, 1 for 2. And a walk. Thayer, 35th appearance, 2-2. His record with a 4.54 ERA.
Yeah, last time out for Dale was Wednesday against the Mets. Threw an inning, gave up a hit, struck out one Met.
Chance to knock the rust off here tonight with a big lead. Falls behind 3-1. Other changes. Amarista goes out to left field to replace Upton, and Barma stays in the game at short. And a walk.
Well, as promised early in the game, you selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. We asked you to tweet your strongest fan photo to #STDataStrongFan for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. And Tori, thank you very much. SoCal Girl 321. Having some fun at the ball yard.
Gene Segura, 1 for 3. Four runs and 8 hits for the Brewers. One and one. So it's Cashner against Jimmy Nelson, who is 8-9 tomorrow. Wednesday night, back from paternal leave, Kennedy and Jungmann, who's 5-3, the rookie. Segura chasing 1-2. And then the day game on Thursday, 11 o'clock is the time on Fox Sports San Diego. Back to the West Coast, Espana and veteran Matt Garza. Garza struggling, 5-12 this year. Jan Solarte got some nice memories in his bank tonight with 2 home runs. First time as a Padre he's hit 2 in a game. Ground ball to second, could be 2. Jerko to Barmas, back to first, double play. Nicely turned, 4-6-3. First for the Padres tonight.
Boy, as a pitcher, especially after a leadoff walk, there's nothing better than getting into the kitchen of a hitter, inducing a ground ball, and just get that feeling to let your infielders work. There's a breaking ball, fisted to the right side, and Dale Thayer will let Jerko and Barmas do the rest.
Good timing there in the feed to Barmas.
Yep.
And they just did nail Segura at first base for the double play. Hernan Perez grounded twice to short and knocked in a run with a single the last time up, 6th inning. Hector Gomez would be next. $20,988 the attendance here at Miller Park on this Monday night. A beautiful night, roof open, no humidity. They had a big thunderstorm yesterday and last night, cleaned out the air. I mean, you can't get a better day than this one.
You know what? I was expecting them to tee up the football for kickoff on a day like today up in the.
Yeah, there's a little bite. You can kind of feel it coming. Huh? Training camps are in full force now. And lots of information on the Packers, of course. And at home, the Chargers getting ready. I think they're going to be pretty good this year. And strike 3 called as Perez caught looking. That's it for the Brewers in the 8th. The Padres by 9. All started with Jan Solarte, 1 out in the first inning. He hits his 6th home run of the year, 1-0. Padres would score in every inning, and then Jed Jerko would come up in the 6th inning. Make that the 5th, and he would blast one into the upper deck in left field, his 6th of the season. As the Padres built their lead, no doubter. And then a 5-run 7th inning with 3 of them coming home on Solarte's 2nd home run of the night. His 7th of the season. And the Padres lead 13-4 going to the top of the 9th inning. He's the dancing man, Solarte.
Oh, a lot of dances going on that bench, and rightfully so. A lot of offense, a lot of fun recently for the San Diego Padres.
Top of the 9th inning, Will Smith is the new pitcher for the Brewers.
Well, 50th game for the left-hander. Look at the strikeouts, 52 and 38 and a third. Still having a little trouble with lefties, but righties. Probably that breaking ball down and in. Fastball, slider, curveball from Will Smith.
Former Kansas City Royal. The Brewers got him a year ago for Nori Aoki. Had some terrific seasons with the Royals out of the pen. Drive by Upton right at the center fielder Schaefer. 1 away. Brett Wallace, the hitter, came in as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, walked and scored. Padres with 1 in the first. The Brewers got 2 in the bottom of the first inning, 1 unearned. Then the Padres took the lead with 3 in the second. Single runs in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th to build a 7-2 lead. Brewers got 1 in the bottom of the 6th inning, 7-3, and the Padres answered with 6 in the 7th inning before the Brewers scored their other run in the 7th. 13-4. Wallace hasn't seen many left-handed pitchers since he's called up from El Paso, primarily used to come in to pinch hit against right-handers. Marcus Mateo is throwing in the Padre pen. Apparently he'll pick it up in the 9th. Yeah, he went around, and that'll be strike 3. 2 away here in the 9th inning. Well, look at our National University standings in the National League wild card. Pittsburgh in the driver's seat at the moment, 4 games ahead of the Cubs, with the Giants a half game back, and the Padres at least on the list, 6.5 out. Plenty of time, and it's a favorable schedule for Pat Murphy's team. Whereas the first half of the year, it seemed that was one winning team after another. Here in the second half, very few winning teams. Ground ball foul off the bat of Amarista, who has a 2-run triple and a double tonight, and a sacrifice fly. He's knocked in 3, Solarte 4. So the 1-2 hitters in the lineup have driven in 7 runs tonight for the Padres.
Yeah, for the Padres, you can only control your own destiny, right? Whoever you play the next night, that's all you have to worry about. You can't worry about other teams in the standings, the wild card. Keep playing this way with the same intensity.
See, 39 of the remaining games against opponents that are playing less than 500 ball. Swing and a miss, and Smith strikes out 2 in the 9th inning. 1-2-3 the Padres story. Bottom of the 9th we go. The Padres lead by 9. Padres playing beautiful music tonight with the Shillelaghs. And a 13-4 lead as Marcus Mateo trying to wrap it up here in the 9th inning. Face the 9-1-2 hitters for the Brewers. Hector Gomez, then Jeanette and Lucroy.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun tonight from the pitching standpoint. Good pitching and good offense all the way around. But for Marcos Mateo, the 9th inning here, pitching like it's nothing. He wants a quick, clean inning. Andrew Cashner, whoa. Stop the clock. Somebody got a hold of him with the shears.
Yeah, he did get some the curls taken off the backside. Yeah. Some of the moss removed. Got too close to the mower. I mean, he had enough hair back there. You could almost build a wig with it. Huh?
Dick, look at earlier in the game.
That's just happened during the game.
Stop the clock.
He looks 5 years younger.
The prospect look.
As a kid, he had his own mowing business. He'd go around the area and mow lawns and everything, and made a lot of money in high school. He probably did the job himself, but 5 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
You would have thought he would have done that earlier in the trip with all the heat and humidity at New York and Miami. Mateo's got an interesting do himself. Two balls, 2 strikes to Gomez. Gomez hitting just 184. Another foul. A lot of love for Jan Solarte. You hit 2 home runs and drive in 4. Pitcher's going to love you. You know, you just keep doing that, Kastner's saying, because I'm coming out there on that hill tomorrow. Nub to first. Alonso can go to the bag himself for the out. 1 away.
Hey, maybe there was a bet on the bench during this game. Maybe Andrew Castro said, "Hey, you guys score 10 runs or more, and I'll shave my my locks." Or maybe, you know what? Since he's sitting next to Solarte after the first home run, he says, "Hey, you hit another home run, then I'll shave my head."
And Kastner is that you might be guessing right. He is that kind of guy. Remember with Despagne when he got that unlikely hit, Kastner went out and got him some really yummy. We're talking about rodeo type gifts, huh? Rodeo drive.
We've got Chris Budden on the case.
Jeanette slaps it foul. 0 for 4 tonight. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times for outs.
I'll tell you what, if the Padres win tomorrow night, I'll shave my head.
No, you won't do that.
Okay, I'll grow my hair out.
I'd like to see that. You and Sweens. And Sweens, you know, could always use that pocket square that he doesn't use to cover up in the sun.
Hey, to find out more, stay tuned after this one on the Padres postgame show. Padres Live, the postgame show with Mike Pomerantz and Mark Sweeney. You'll get all the answers. You'll get all the action of this game. You'll get the hair cutting.
Drive to deep right center off the bat of Jeanette. That's got a lot of carry and goes long. Home run. Number 5 for Scooter Jeanette. And that gets Bernie on the slide. Fortunately, a big lead and a solo home run just cuts the lead to 13-5.
Let's check out the location. Looked like a breaking ball down and in, just into the power zone of Scooter Jeanette. Drops the head. He wanted to backdoor it. Missed with location. And as you mentioned, Dick, a lot of breathing room tonight. That's the luxury the Padres have, scoring those 13 runs. Can afford to make a mistake and not get hurt by it.
Lucroy has scored a couple of runs. He's 1 for 3, a single and a walk. Lines that foul. So the bullpen has given up a couple of runs. Campos gave up a run on the RBI double by Logan Schaefer. And now the home run for Jeanette off Mateo. Some of the fans remaining wearing Padre gear. 2 strikes to count. Got it. High heat at 94. 2 away. Schaefer replacing Ryan Braun. Braun went 1 for 3, a double. Schaefer doubled in a run, is only at bat in the 7th inning. Back with the fastball strike. Hello. Chop foul. Hi, Dad. I got a little surprise for you. I'll be home in an hour. Horses for courses. Down to the final strike. Center field hit well, but Melvin Upton is there, and the ball game is over. The Padres rack up 13 runs on 13 hits. And the final, San Diego 13, Milwaukee 5. And we go to Mike Pomerantz.